Demon Jester J here with 5+ questions to a mile maker. And my guest is
Brian Fischer, SpacewolfOddballz.
How you doing today, sir?
Pretty good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you for being on my show.
Well, thank you.
Ready for the it's 8 questions now. Ready for the questions?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. First question. Who are you? Please tell us about yourself and your hobby, and also, do you have more than one hobby?
I do have more than one hobby. I'll answer it backwards.
Okay.
I, of course, do the wargaming stuff. I've also done some quad and dirt bike riding, like to hunt and fish, and 4-wheel drive before buying. But most of that stuff recently is kind of, gotten expensive, and so even though not that miniature wargaming isn't, but I've kind of went back towards my miniature wargaming side of me. I started playing Games Workshop games and stuff back in 1990, and I started playing into first edition Rogue Trader up in Warhammer Fantasy and stuff like that.
Cool.
Actually, the original game I got into that got me hooked into it was Epic.
Oh, wow.
And then I kind of took a 10-year, I still had my stuff and everything, but kind of a 10-year break from the hobby when I was living out in California. Yeah.
All right. Ready for number 2?
Sure.
Number 2. What got you into your hobby, and how long have you been into it?
What kind of got me into the hobby was actually getting into a game called Star Trek Tactical Combat Simulator, which was through FASO, and that brought me into the game shop locally, and I started collecting the little miniatures and stuff for the game, and from there I talked to a guy, his name was Wes, and he got me hooked into Epic, little green, or little, I actually got orcs, and then picked up some green and yellows, and he taught me how to dry brush. And so I started doing that, and I really liked them, and just kind of moved in the hobby from there. So, yeah. The next question, if you're ready.
All right, number 3. When and why did you start making YouTube videos, and have you met anyone from YouTube because of it?
Okay. I started making YouTube videos very recent. I've been watching them for quite a while. I decided that I wanted to just I've always been into filming stuff. When I was younger, I liked to play with cameras and stuff. And growing up, I kind of used made videos with my 2 younger brothers to kind of babysit them in the houses. We made little Star Trek skits and things like that. And then, of course, we got into Warhammer, so that kind of put that on the back burner. And then, so I've always kind of had that video, wanted to do video stuff, and I started seeing the people in the hobby were doing how-tos and just fat reps and whatever in the hobby, and it's kind of caused me to try to put some of my own out there. I know, maybe not to the same quality standards like mini wargaming and some of these other people that you see, but for me, it's just more fun. People want to watch it.
Yeah.
And then for people that I've met, well, I've met you so far, so I feel honored with that. And met a lot of people through Wargaming Chums group here on YouTube, and a few other people just talking back and forth. And so it's cool. It's kind of a cool community in itself.
All right. Number 4. Do you have any tips for anyone new getting into your hobby, and this includes making YouTube videos?
My tips would be if before you jump into the game or any, I guess, game being the hobby or whatever, to just kind of do a little bit of research, make sure that you know what exactly you want to spend and how much time you want to spend on it. I know I grew up with people that would buy lots of miniatures, but they wouldn't paint their miniatures, for example. And if you're someone that wants to play tournaments, for example, and you get all your miniatures ready and you know you have the money for it, but you don't have the time to paint your miniatures, you're going to have to start looking at, you know, maybe commissioning people to paint your figures or what have you. And because otherwise you show up at the tournaments and be like, okay, I'm ready to play. Got my 2,000-foot army here of Space Marines or whatever. And you might not be able to play in this tournament because your army's not painted. So my tip would be just to kind of self-evaluate yourself, you know, your financial, your time, whatever. Financiers are part of it. Then my recommendation would be to check out eBay. Blue Table Painting has some cheap figures on there that people trade in, so you can find stuff. And there's probably other companies and places out there to do that same kind of thing. So look at the second-hand market. And there's even scratch building too. So if you're wanting to get into the game and you're like, hey, I want to build this army, but I can't afford a Land Raider. You can go to a site called BWC Archive, and it's a Yahoo group. Sign up with them and get templates and build yourself a proxy model, if nothing else, of a Land Raider, and at least be able to play friendly games with it to start off with. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, my advice is, you know, don't be totally put off by prices, because you can always make things to get you by. And then once you either get really interested in the hobby or get enough funds for it, then you can either you know, sell what you got and upgrade, or just continue what you're doing and just keep building bigger armies. And you know, for friendly games, it doesn't really matter if you're gonna scratch build or whatnot, but if you're playing at Games Workshop sanctioned places, or I don't know, some of the other company sanctioned places, they're probably frowned on stuff like that. So.
Yeah. All right. The second part of the question is, do you have any tips for making YouTube videos?
My tips on making YouTube videos would be getting people like yourself. Just, you know, like once you get in a community of YouTubers, just ask lots of questions and get to know the people, and you'll find out different, like the editing software you were talking to me about the other night. You know, just the various tips and tricks of the trade you can learn just from talking to people. And so that would be probably my tip just starting out. Just and be respectful of the people that are, you know, giving you the tips and stuff. I mean, don't come in all acting like you know everything when you don't. Just be humble, and they'll help you get your channel going.
All right. Ready for number 5?
Yeah, I'm good.
Number 5. This used to be an argument between a lot of forums of painting, and I already explained this question before we started. It's, do you like an airbrush or paintbrush, or do you use both, and why?
Right now, I have not had any airbrush experience. I would like to someday. We talked about that. Some of the starting airbrushes maybe to get into.
Yes.
And so when finances and stuff allow, I definitely want to try some techniques and stuff that I've seen people use, like SchnauzerFaceMinis and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Cool stuff. And Generalsplatton has some real cool stuff, you know. But to me, I think that being a brush guy and then seeing that, I think whatever it takes to get the miniature to look good, the way you want it to look, is really what matters, or what your customer or person wants. You know, if you're a commission painter. So I think any technique you can use is a good one of those.
All right. Ready for number 6?
Yeah, I'm good. Yep.
Number 6. What was your favorite mini or model to paint, and why?
I would say my favorite mini and model to paint was probably my, actually be models, was my old edition Undead Army for Warhammer Fantasy. And the reason that was is I really learned how to do dry brushing work and stuff on them. You know, and back in the day, you didn't have YouTube. You didn't have you know, really a whole lot except for looking at a picture in a white dwarf or something. I want to do that, you know. And so I learned a lot of techniques with it, and it was just really kind of fun, and kind of really drew me into doing stuff. Because before that was, you know, I'm painting a space marine. Well, you just painted one color back then, pretty much, and some details. And you didn't really think about, hey, I can do effects on this guy and make him really cool looking, you know. At least I did it. So, and I did my undead, and I had a lot of compliments on him because it looked like the guys on the Jason, the Argonauts, I think was the old movie. Mm-hmm. The animated undead skeletons, and you had real dark, contrasted colors. I kind of went different than the traditional bone on them, and then I painted the ones I had decent, and then one of my friends wanted me to paint his undead army for him, so I did his whole undead army as a commission for him, and then I ended up getting it back cheap from him. So basically, I got paid to get my own undead army from him. Long run.
That's cool.
So so that would probably be my favorite.
All right, ready for number 7?
I'm ready.
Sorry about that. This is another one of those questions that is very confusing. That's why I told you before. Number 7. What's your opinion of a model maker to a wargamer?
Well, my opinion on that would, for me, would be, and I'm just going to interject myself as that, would be that I would be in between both. I like the war game. I'm not very good at it. I like to build models, and to me, I'm kind of like the guy that fits in between both. You know, doing the hobby side, building the miniatures and everything, and doing the wargaming, kind of the jack of all trades, master of none, I guess. And I think that's kind of where a lot of hobbyists probably are. They're probably in that same boat. But some people like to be the more model makers and, do the real hobby side of it. And those guys, you can learn a lot of stuff from them because they really, really get into learning effects like on the glowy effects on the miniatures and stuff now. If it wasn't for some of the guys who are more on the hobby side of things, we probably wouldn't have got those ideas, per se. And so I think that's real kudos on that side. And then, of course, the game guys, if you didn't have the gamers out there, you wouldn't have any rule sets to make the miniatures popular to play in the first place. So, but yeah, I hope that kind of answer it there.
It's your answer. It's the way you answer it. It's your question.
All right.
Well, this is the last question. It's number 8.
All right.
It's, who do you think I should ask these questions to next and why?
Okay. Well, I think that there's a guy, I don't know him personally, but I really enjoy his videos, and he's called 40K Painted on YouTube. And what he does is he does audio books. He takes books and kind of turns them into audio. He's a British guy. I believe he's British. He's got the British accent. And so he's done like Space Hulk, like several different Space Hulk. And he's got a new series, I forget what it's called right off the top of my head. But it's very good. I like to listen to it while I'm painting miniatures or, just chilling out, just kind of a background to listen to. So I think it'd be very interesting to kind of listen to his take. He also has some videos of him doing miniatures and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think he'd be a pretty cool guy to see on here.
All right. Well, that's all the questions. Okay. And this is what I call shameless plug time. Everything you say now goes right into the credits, right in the description down below. You can plug your Facebook, your Twitter, your Google Plus account, YouTube definitely. Even if you want to plug some of your friends, anything you want to do, it's your time to just start talking.
Okay. Well, I'm not quite sure where to go with that right off the top of my head. I guess I'll plug Wargaming Chums in there.
Google Plus, hang out. The Google Plus community. I'm even part of the Wargaming Chums. That's how I met you.
Yeah. And a lot of those guys are, fun and really show a lot of care and compassion and support to one another on the hobby, and so I'd really like to probably throw them out a shout out there.
All right.
And I guess I'll throw out a shout to some of the guys off the top of my head, like Generalsplatton. I really like some of the videos and stuff he does, so kind of support him.
Really nice guy.
Yeah, and then SchnauzerFaceMinis, of course, I mentioned him, and there's just so many guys. I mean, I'll even you're a local guy, and getting to know you and stuff, and all your background and stuff. There's just so many guys to name and try to give credit to. But another one would be Dr. Faust. I really like his stuff. I haven't got a chance to talk with him or anything.
He hardly talks online often, but when he does, he talks mostly in his on his Facebook page, mostly. And I interviewed him, and I was in awe because the stuff the stories he told me was amazing.
Yeah.
So, he's a very, very nice guy.
Yeah, he seems like he would always answer my questions on, if I had a question on some technique or something.
Yeah, he always does.
Good about that. So.
Well, we need your YouTube channel at least.
My YouTube channel, I think it's just under my name, Brian Fischer. Or you can find, if you do that though, you'll probably find there's another Brian Fischer on it. There's a lot of religious stuff.
Yeah.
It's not me. I have some gray, but it's not me. So I would probably do like a Google search at least for SpacewolfOddballz. And if you can't find me on there from just my name, and with the Z in the end, basically SpacewolfOddball and then the Z.
I'm going to put your chat in the description of the videos. You're going to be a link to your YouTube channel too, so don't worry about that.
Okay.
So anybody that watches this video, they're definitely going to see your channel and even a link to the Wargaming Chums underneath it.
Okay. So that'd be probably the best two ways or at least the best way to find me the link or to search that way.
All right.
Or probably find this if you found this video here, like you said, the link. So.
Yep. Is that everything?
I think so. I mean, if you have any questions for me, I'd be happy. I'd answer more questions.
No more questions. All the questions are done. Well, that's the show. Thank you for being on it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And like I tell everybody, make sure the hobby's fun and keep your blade sharp. Bye, everybody.